Hello there, and welcome to another video. Today's video is just going to be a quick one. I recently played BattleToads on the Xbox Game Pass, and I thought I'd just give my impressions of it. What can I say about it? And this is coming from a single player perspective, so the co-op side of things may make the game a lot better, it may improve it a great deal, but this game is very sort of meh to me from what I played of it. And I played for about 4 to 5 hours, give or take. I'm going to put some footage in the background so you can see it for yourself. And I mean, the colours, it's got a lot of bright colours to it. It's got nice enough graphics. The soundtrack's pretty decent. Humour side of things, it's very sort of style over substance. So it's all down to your personal preference when it comes to the comedy of it and stuff. It's the game design is kind of uninspiring. It's designed to be played with other people, so co-op friends, but ironically at the moment you can only play it via couch co-op. There is no online co-op at the moment, which I believe has been patched in for some co-op. It's a lot of different genres within this particular game, but to be honest, none of them are really that interesting. I mean, you've got combat, Streets of Rage alike. You've got space shooter type sections, you've got puzzle sections. In fact, a great deal of the game is puzzle sections. There's a lot of puzzle stuff. It's kind of, they've just meshed so many different genres together, and you would think that'd be fun, but it really is a master of none, which is kind of a shame, because I mean, the original BattleToads is one of those cult type of games that was notoriously difficult, and this is difficult in certain areas. For instance, the original is notorious for the turbo bikes. The turbo bikes in this version aren't that difficult. I died more than a couple of times, but nothing I would define as really hard. On the other hand, there's a point in the game where you have to do this like skiing section, and you've got all these different platforms, and each platform is a different material. So for each different material, it's assigned to a different button on the control pad, and whatever it'd be if you're playing via keyboard, but I wouldn't recommend playing by keyboard unless you're extremely good, because it requires precision pressing and stuff. It was so irritating. I must have been stuck in that section for about an hour, and I wanted to put my head through the wall at one point because it was just so infuriating to play through. I mean, I've said some pros and cons. It's on Game Pass, so that's a recommendation straight away. Game Pass practically pays for itself. I think it's £1 a month and £10 a month after that for what you get. And it's not just Microsoft, there is third-party stuff on there, but obviously it comes and goes with the third-party games that you can get on there and stuff, but it's a steal. It's well worth it. Give it a try. I mean, you're not losing anything in the long run. And it's what Stadia should have been. It's a games service where you download the games, you don't necessarily stream the games as far as I understand. And as long as you keep the subscription, just like PSN, you've got full access to it. So it's on Game Pass. I wouldn't pay $20 for this. I believe that's what it is, and it's about, I don't know, whatever the British equivalent is. Probably about, I don't know, 13 to maybe 16 quid, something like that. I wouldn't buy this personally. Again, remember, I'm saying this from a single player perspective, not a multiplayer. So for all I know, it could be a great deal of fun in multiplayer, but from what I played of it, I wasn't that impressed. For instance, I played Streets of Rage 4, and I'd recommend that to anybody. For what did I pay for that? Was it £17? and that's awesome, absolutely awesome, all the way through. Sure, true, it is a beat 'em up, and they don't always have the longest sort of longevity, but it's fun unlocking the newer characters. On this, I mean, I don't really know the history of BattleToads that particularly well, so I could be a bit uninformed on that side of things, but it's very sort of... it's very style over substance. I mean, you've got the space shooter bit, so... which is okay, it's fair enough, there's nothing necessarily wrong with it. There's a puzzle bit where you have to jump up and match the puzzle, and it's quite easy once you get the hang of it, but it takes a bit of time. I found it did. I'm trying to think what other parts of the game were there. The platform is not really that difficult, and its biggest sin... oh, and the mini games, they do drag on, so they can get annoying after a while. Is the combat? The combat is, I mean, this is a mix of genres in terms of what you do in the game, but it masters none of them. So there's nothing really there to grab you and to keep you playing. Now, again, single player perspective. In multiplayer, there are some moves and combos you can do, but I can't see this being anything particularly worthwhile, but you know, that's just my opinion. As I said, the biggest sin is the combat. It's average. It's infuriatingly hard at times. And as I said, the ski level in particular is unbelievably tricky. It's the kind of, as I said, I wanted to put my head through my monitor at one point. It was so irritating. I got through it in the end, and as I said, 5 or 6 hours I believe I played of it. But the combat, for instance, when you're fighting through the different things, the different enemies, there's a different variety of enemies in the game, but they don't have health bars, so like the original, so you don't have any idea how many hits they're going to take before they go down, and they go down several hundreds, it feels like hundreds of times before they actually disappear, and then you get your next load of enemies. But there were points in this game where it was just like infuriatingly hard and difficult. There are combos in the game, different movesets you can use, but it's very limited in what you can do, and I found it really tedious after a while. It just wasn't fun. You know, there's a point in the game where you have to go up against the different enemies. There's ones that shoot at you, and avoiding them is just... it's just, you know, it's infuriating to the point where it's just not fun. Well, I didn't find it fun. As I said, the only real pro I can say is it's on Game Pass. At least check it out, because it's not a bad game in the slightest, but at the same time it's not really a good game. It's worth checking out, especially if you're nostalgic for BattleToads. I don't have a lot of nostalgia for it, to be honest. I played it once or twice. But if someone's into likes really difficult games and likes a good challenge, then this will give you it, most definitely. You might murder some before the end of it, but it's well worth checking out. As I said, Game Pass. Some will say that's not a pro because it's not a very good game, and even if it's on Game Pass, I'd rather have a good game than crap on Game Pass. Well, as I said, it's not crap, it's just sort of, it's very mediocre. It doesn't feel like a lot's been put into it. I mean, again, the style of it is cool. The humour is sort of, it's personal preference, but I wouldn't recommend it personally. Streets of Rage 4, any of the other fighting games, is substantially better than this, unless you've got a real sort of nostalgic sort of love for Battletoads. I mean, they are basically almost a rip-off of Teenage Ninja Turtles, but again, it's all personal preference. I'd recommend check it out. I mean, I looked on Metacritic, so I was just curious about it, and it's got 72 critic reviews 6 positive ratings at 37%, 10 mixed ratings at 62%, but the user score is 5.1 on the user score. It's 53 positive ratings at 44%, 8 mixed ratings at 6%, and 59 negative ratings at 49%. So, I don't know, the reviews for it are very, very mixed. Some say it's great, some say it's absolute shite. I would say it's just mediocre, to say the least. But check it out, it's worth a gander, and that's all I've really got to say about that, to be honest. Anyway, thanks for your time.
Okay, back to, you know, the... What are we doing again?
I'm gonna puke.
Fighting is harder than I remember.
Oh, swallowed it.
Okay. Control, Alt, Delete. Got it. Hey, yeah. Ooh. Okay, alright, let's see.
Wins. Co-Shadow. 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 Tie. Co-Shadow. 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 Crash wins. Toe Shadow. Tie. Toe Shadow. Hippo wins.
down. Now let's steal a spaceship and get out of here.